The National Health Act was written in 2003, and Chapter 8 of the Act deals with the control of use of blood, blood products, tissue and gametes in humans, while Chapter 9 of the Act deals with national health research and information. The NHA replaced the Human Tissue Act 65 of 1983 and provided very general and non-specific guidelines to regulate and control the research being done into genetics and genomics, whilst ensuring the safety and ethical treatment of the subjects involved in the genetic studies or procedures. The applicable regulations published in the 2012 Government Gazette includes Regulation 177, which relates to the use of human biological materials and states that biological material for genetic testing, training, health research or therapeutic purposes may only be removed in an authorized institution, a prescribed institution, or a research institution as prescribed in terms of the National Heritage Resources Act. The Act also states that human biological material may only be removed with written consent from the person from whom it is being removed. Genetic health research can only take place if it has been approved by a Research Health Ethics Committee. Human biological material may only be removed with written consent from the person from whom it is being removed. Genetic health research can only take place if it has been approved by a Registered Health Research Ethics Committee. Pre-implantation and prenatal testing for selection of sex of child is prohibited. And an institution that keeps or discloses genetic material records must ensure that the information is treated confidentially, that users have access to the records, the information is used for the purpose for which it was originally intended, and that the information is treated as anonymous if used for research purposes.
Okay, Regulation 181, which relates to the import and export of genetic material. Before importing or exporting genetic material, such as would happen with the Discovery Health Project, one must apply in writing to the Director General. The Director General may then authorize a permit if he or she is satisfied that the information submitted in support of the application for a permit meets the requirements of these regulations. If tissue or gametes are being exported, proof that these were obtained in terms of the Act and will be used in terms of the Act must accompany the application. Okay. And then there's some issues regarding the law that a project like Discovery Health can take advantage of. And these would be that there is a deficiency in the SA regulatory framework on the use, storage and export of biological samples. When samples are collected, there is no rule of whether genetic counselling must take place, which ideally should be taking place in order to gain proper informed consent. Also, there are only 30 registered professionals that can perform proper genetic counselling in South Africa, which is quite a deficiency. There are no specific regulations overseeing export of biological data from South Africa. Usually there is no consent gained from the patient for the actual export of the samples, so patients don't really know that their samples are being sent overseas and kept there. Once a sample is exported, South African health research regulation authorities lose complete oversight function of these samples. In legislation, ownership of human biological material is essentially passed from the donor to the recipient, which is the researcher or the doctor. But this genetic material still remains unique to the donor and can be traced back to them. So therefore, anonymity cannot be assured, and this raises confidentiality issues.